All right, so this video is going to explain to you from scratch how you how you can start scaling your own agency or online coaching business from scratch. So it's extremely important that you put your full attention into this short masterclass, because if you cannot watch an half an hour video with your full attention, how will you be able to actually make and scale a business? Welcome to the Somewhat Masterclass. Today, we're going to be talking about how you can close your first deal from scratch and start scaling your business after that. It's completely free, and so many course sellers try to get you to spend money to get this information. And I am giving it to you completely for free. So let's get into it. So the first step is business essentials. So welcome to your business essentials. Here are a list of the exact things you'll need to make sure your business is set up right. So the first thing is actually a name for your business, and you should kind of tailor tailor it to your niche and make sure it has a nice catch to it. So for example, simplified acquisition is the name of my company, and it explains perfectly what it's about: simplifying acquisition. And my niche clearly understands the meaning behind it. And if you can't really think of of any name for your business, what you can do is you use this website called Namelix. And what you can do is enter a few keywords for your business, and then you will get a few names for your business. So for example, simple fitness coaching. Generate brandable names. You can do it, doesn't really matter too much. Yum is good. It doesn't really matter. Okay, generate. Then you just wait for the name to pop up. You wait for the whole thing to load. All right, then you have InstiFit, Fisidio, Fitzo, SFFit, Coach, Flex size, Fitspire. It doesn't really matter. Or Simplize is something that I personally like. Simplify is a little too 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 simple, but Gimplify could definitely work. This is something I would personally use if I had a simplified gym thing. But that's cool. Then you have your name, and then the next thing is creating a logo. So try to create a simple yet understanding logo that your niche will understand. So the logo for me, the logo for simplified acquisition, I'm gonna put on the screen. It's extremely simple. However, for me personally, it has quite a it is quite a cool catch to it. So yeah, that's that's pretty much it for the logo. I need to remove this. Right. So cal.com/calendly is make sure your cal.com/calendly are fully set up. Well, okay, you can do is fine. All right, and these will make sure your leads are actually able to properly book in the appointment at the appropriate times. Next thing is Google Calendar. So you need to make sure your Google Calendar is fully set up so your leads can actually properly book appointments because because the thing with cal.com and currently is that it's primarily will go go over the time that you've scheduled inside of your Google Calendar. So, for example, if you didn't schedule in your sleep, then a prospect who is on the other side of the world could schedule an appointment when you're asleep. And I don't think you want to hold appointments when you're sleeping. So, yeah, just do that. And the next thing is payment processor. So, for example, PayPal, Stripe, bank transfer, just some way that prospects can actually send you money. Extremely important. And the final thing for for your business's essentials is Google Meet/Zoom, because you have to be able to actually hold the meetings with your prospect. Just a quick heads up, Zoom's free version only uh, only allows 40 minutes of meetings. So if you cannot pay for these softwares, I mean, if you cannot pay for Zoom, I recommend Google Meet. There we go. The second step, niche market research, extremely important. So, welcome to the niche market research step. Here, it's all about doing niche market research to ensure you fully understand your niche's problems, fully understand your niche's desires, and you'll be able to craft your perfect offer so your niche actually wants to buy from you. And the best way you can do niche market research is by directly speaking to your niche. This not only will allow you to create your perfect offer, but it also gives you direct experience in speaking to your niche. And what this will do is make it so much easier for you to actually close your first deal. So you are going to be scheduling interviews with your niche here. So make sure you have Google Voice or, or, or go high level or 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 any way to cold call actually set up so you can cold call your niche. Extremely important. Next thing is lead sourcing. Use any lead scraping tool. So what I personally recommend for agency owners is is Instant Data Scraper, Apollo.io, T7 Lead Finder, or Phantom Buster plus Google Maps. For for online coaches, just join Facebook groups or reach out to followers from popular creators in your niche on social media, preferably IG if your niche is reachable. For community owners, look into school communities in your niche. That's the lead sourcing. And the next thing is have a cold calling script ready, so you can actually speak to your niche and have a metrics tracking sheet ready. And yeah, and then just set your goal to book 10 to 15 interviews, which will really help you move forward with your niche market research. We quickly have a sip of water. So once you actually get on those interviews, record them all. So you can look a bit back and figure out the common problems and desires of your niche. Alternatively, what you can do is simply ask ChatGPT the question: I'm in X niche. I'm trying to figure out what the core problems and desires of this niche are. Could you give me something I can work with? ChatGPT will probably give you an answer. If you can work with that, then great. If you can't, then you can either try again with different questions, or, or just focus on interviews. And that's the niche market research step out of the way. The third step is offer creation. In client acquisition, an offer is the way a product or service is positioned. Offers offers have strength, and strength works on a scale. Offers aren't simply weak or strong, it's a question of how weak or how strong. And this question is answered by your market by comparing your offer to your competitors. When you create an offer, you are positioning your product. The way you position your product influences your market's perception of that product, which influences their confidence in your product. Your offer should react with the drives, goals, problems, and pains of your niche. For example, a weaker offer is a sell a course that contains videos explaining how to get clients. And the stronger offer is I sell an easily installed client acquisition infrastructure rebuilt for you by experts who have who have already solved the problem for themselves. The above examples are only weak or strong when contrasted to each other. Offers aren't good, good or bad only when compared to other offers made by competitors. And because 90% of people in the online space don't understand offer creation, you can gain a huge business advantage here. Key points on offers in high ticket client acquisition, and this won't apply to every single business. So, the first thing is offers succeed when they inspire certainty and position products as vehicles or pathways to escape current situations and achieve desired ones. Offers succeed when they are unique and force the market to perceive a product or business in a different, better way to competition. This is extremely important. Niches and markets don't saturate, or offers do. A product is not an offer. A service is not an offer. A, a guarantee is not an offer. A discount is not an offer. And a price is not an offer. So, again, what is what actually is an offer? It's a vehicle, or it's no, it's the way you position your products as vehicles or pathways to escape these situations and achieve different ones. That's an offer. So start working on your offer as soon as possible. Your offer will make or break your business. Now, you should have done your niche market research, so you will have plenty of information to create your offer. As soon as you have made your offer, it's time for the next step, which is called outbound. It's time for cold outbound, which means reaching out to your niche through cold messaging. No, which means reaching out to your niche through cold messaging, emails, or cold calling. And the best method for you depends on where your niche is most reachable. For example, majority of agency niches are best targeted through cold calling or cold emails. The majority of online coach niches, so niches if you are an online coach, are best targeted through social media DM outreach. And members for your school community are best reached through, I mean, I don't really know, probably school, because you will want them on school. However, if you want people inside of your school community, you can still reach out to them through through other social media platforms, but school is probably just the easiest. So once you've established which platform slash method you're going to use, make sure you look at the restrictions if you have any. So, for example, for Instagram, it has a restriction of 30 to 50 DMs a day per active account. And new accounts may have a limit of between 10 and 30 DMs a day. On Facebook, it's 10 to 15 DMs an hour. So 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 try to not send all of your DMs in bulk. And school has a 10 DM a week limit. It sucks, but you cannot change it. So figure out how you can, instead of focusing on doing cold outbound on school, just see if you can mimic some things up. And the next thing is cold calling, and restrictions could depend on the software. However, the majority of restrictions for cold calling usually comes down to the calling credits. And for cold email, restrictions depend on the tool or software that is used for emails and how much you are landing in spam plus your keywords. So if you're still unsure, simply ask ChatGPT about certain restrictions before getting into your outbound process. Let me just move this down. And I'm not going to give you an entire script for your outbound process because this would be unfair for my clients who actually pay for proven scripts, framework, and systems. However, what I will do is give you a general direction. So keep it personal. People don't, people don't want your sales pitch right away. Keep it short and sweet, and make sure it can be tracked, and keep it simple. You don't need complex messaging. So next thing is sales. So I mean, sales are extremely important. You're one step away from actually closing your first client. Well, two step actually, because the only things you need to be doing now is actually making sure your prospect shows up to the sales call, diagnosing them and making sure they're interested, and get the deal closed if you guys are a good fit for each other. And really, sales is extremely easy, but you need practice. It's going to be much harder to close a deal on your first call compared to your 100th call. Not that it's impossible to close your first ever sales call, but let's stay realistic here. Sales is a skill, and all skills can be trained. Sales is a mixture of volume and skill. Yes, you can train yourself to 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 close almost every qualified deal, but even if you can, if you have one call a week, you're not really going to be making that much money. And yes, you can have 20 calls a week, but if you can't close them or if none of them show up, you're not gonna make any money. So it's really a hybrid approach. With that being said, let's first speak about getting your prospect to show up. So your appointment is finally booked. How do you make sure they actually show up? Simple. You remind them constantly through emails and messaging. You add it to their Google Calendar. You don't allow them to book weeks in advance. Roughly 5 calendar days at most, and you make your call actually worth something. And every call that I've been on has been a show up unless an absolute emergency happened. Show ups really come down to if your call is actually valuable to your prospect and that they are actually qualified. And on top of that, if it's actually very easy for your prospect to show up. And the next thing is is on the sales call. So what should you be doing on the sales call? Well, it's extremely straightforward. So my personal sales process and the sales process that I teach to my clients looks like this. So first, diagnosing slash discovery, which is the line of questions. So I'm asking my prospect questions that point out their current situation and desired situation to make sure I can actually help them. Next step is pitching. Is pitching my offer to a qualified prospect in a high level and detailed way. Next step is answering questions because prospects 9 out of 10 times have questions about the product and I answer them at a high level. Next up is the most difficult section of the sales call, which are objections. Prospects will always have objections. Maybe they will need to think about it. They'll speak to someone. They're not too sure if it works for them. They're not sure if they can invest, and so on. Here, I always make sure to treat these objections as real concerns because they are. I always try to frame it back to something that I can actually answer because most of the time it's just a specific doubt or uncertainty that your prospect has. So understand where your prospect is coming from. Will welcome their objections with open arms because they actually want to buy from you. There's just a certain obstacle in their way which you and the prospect must eliminate. The final part is the close, the magic moment. You've taken care of all of the objections. Now it's time to actually get the close. So the price is pitched, they're interested, send them a payment link. Now, this requires a sales script. But again, it's something that my clients pay for. So I'm not giving it away for free. However, however, if you take a, a good look at this masterclass, you can actually make your own sales script. So the next thing is sales mindset. There's a certain mindset you need to have for sale, or else you're simply not going to be nearly as good in sales as compared to someone who who does have this mindset. So let's get into the key points. The first point is you're focusing on helping your prospect. Money is a side product of that. Your number one focus should be establishing whether you can actually help your prospect and build a proper connection with them. Because people who actually build connections, build build connections with their prospects are far more likely to actually close that deal because of trust and familiarity to the salesperson. Next thing is objections mean that they want to move want to move forward, but there is a doubt or an obstacle that's in their way. Treat it with complete understanding and help them break the chain. And your business acts as a bridge to get them from their current situation to their desired situation. Understand these key points and you'll make it very far in sales. That's really it. That's all you need to close your first deal. But there's more free value. Let's go. All right, let's get into some bonuses. So, step 6, inbound and social media. Inbound is extremely important to close long-term deals. Building a brand, whether that's a personal brand or simply posting for your niche, is crucial. Making yourself known is a cheat code to success in the long term. If you're not putting yourself out there, you're making a huge mistake. You need to make sure you're posting pretty much every day on at least some social media platforms. For example, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, school, it doesn't matter. As long as your niche is active on those platforms, uh, and you can actually post on these platforms, you should post. A general rule of thumb is 1 to 2 short form videos every single day, 2 long form videos a week, 1 to 2 posts a day, and that's really it. All right, step 7, onboarding. You've closed your first deal. Well, what's next? Actually onboarding your new client. Get them on a quick onboarding call where you explain to them these things. What your product and service is exactly, more details now that they are your client, what they can expect from now on, your methodology slash roadmap for them, an agreement slash contract for them to sign to fully onboard them onto your program slash coaching service, future payments if eligible, for example, on a payment plan, and the next steps. Put these in a quick PowerPoint presentation and present them to your new client on the onboarding call. And and trust me, it will save so much time and energy in the long run. And the final thing, step 8, testimonials, referrals, and quick case studies. Social proof is extremely important. However, you don't need it to close deals, but it definitely makes it a whole lot easier because your offer determines 60% of whether you will close or not. Your sales skills slash conviction determines 20% of whether you will close or not. Social proof determines 20% of whether you will close or not. Have all three, and you're conversion rates will increase a lot. So, how can we actually establish social proof? Well, the first thing is give value and simply ask. Giving someone free value is an amazing way to establish quick messages for social proof. Get all of your clients to give you a video testimonial. People love seeing faces on videos, and and if if those faces tell you that what you're tempted to buy is actually worth it, then you will much more likely invest. Next thing is referrals. If something works for your client and they happen to have a friend with a similar problem, they're so much more likely to reach out to that friend. No, it's they're so much more likely to reach that friend out to you to solve this problem. Simply ask your clients if they have or know someone in need of your product or service. and and from there, just turn them into case studies. This will allow you to get that slight edge and close a few more deals. And that's it. That's everything for this short masterclass. If you found value, then make sure you subscribe, drop a like, and do all of that stuff. And that's it. I will see you in another video.